So I had a request, so I thought I would honor the request tonight and tell a story. Now, I would like to say that I have absolutely no proof of anything I'm going to say tonight. So it's between you and your God to decide if what I'm saying is so, if these events even took place. But I have said it. I have no proof. So if you want proof, you're going to be disappointed. Because when these events transpired, I made an aggressive decision to make sure there would be no proof, so I would never be tempted to take advantage of these events. That having been said, when I was in my 20s, I became very sick. And as time progressed, I was diagnosed with the early stages of lymphatic cancer and multiple sclerosis. Well, that stuff I have proof of. But I was sick for about 6 years, and when God finally healed me, which is for another night, my life was very confusing to me because I had been so sick. So I recorded a record, and I didn't like the record anymore, and I didn't want to continue to promote it. And I was a working actor in Los Angeles, but I had no interest in acting. And suddenly I was in the land of the living after spending 6 years in the land of the dead. And a friend of mine was a top masseuse in Los Angeles, and she invited me to come to her massage school that she had started. And I said, I have no interest in doing this. And she said, well, Paisley, you're floundering. You've had a lot of life change. Why don't you come anyways? And I'll get you in for free. And this will be something you could do with your time. You could learn a trade. And at least you'll be around people while you're adjusting to your new life. So because it was free, I took advantage of it. And I had no idea that I would have any aptitude toward massage. But I did very well, and through the course of the schooling, I got so much massage business that I didn't even finish massage school, and was working full-time doing it privately in Los Angeles. This is a story I don't like to tell. It's a story I try to not tell, but I feel very strong that I need to tell it one more time. So here we go. One day, a gentleman came to my door, and he was very angry with me, and he was clearly crying and clearly ready to pop me one. And I opened the door and I said, who are you? He goes, you don't even remember me. And I said, no, I mean, you look familiar, but he said, yeah, you have no right. You have no right. I said, for what? What did I do? And he goes, you don't even know what you did to me. And I said, well, I don't understand. He goes, don't you remember when you were massaging me? And I go, oh, yeah. You came for a massage a few weeks ago. And he goes, don't you remember what you did, what happened? And I said, no, I'm sorry, I just don't remember. And he said, your hands. I even commented about your hands. I said, your hands are so warm, they're so hot. And I go, I don't understand. I was rubbing on you. There's friction. Hands get hot. I couldn't have hurt you. And he goes, hurt me? For goodness sakes, you healed me. And I said, wow. What was wrong with you? And he was so angry. He was so angry. And I saw the anger. It was the same anger that I had the day God healed me after I'd been sick for 6 years. By the end of 6 years, I weighed less than 150 pounds. And I walked with 2 canes. And I was in so much agony, and then to suddenly be fine, I was so angry at the unexpected change. I wasn't like the people in the Bible jumping up and down for joy. I was furious with God that He had played with my life for 6 years when He was planning on healing me all along. And I saw this rage in this man's face and heard it in his voice, and he said, "My gosh, you have no idea what you're doing. You have no idea what power you have." So he told me that he had AIDS, or that he had had AIDS, and now he was symptom-free, and his T cells were returning, and that he hated me, and if he ever saw me again, he'd kill me, and he left. And I was very confused. And on my next client, I massaged this person, and I said, "If you notice any strange sensations, tell me." And so the person said at one point, "Wow, that's amazing that you can do that." And I said, "What am I doing?" They said, "It's like you're purposely heating up your hands on the part of my back that was injured years ago in a car accident." And I realized that when I concentrated on what I was doing, that I could see inside. And that I could see the Spirit of God just go in and just maneuver stuff around and heal. And I realized that something had transpired in the time that God had healed me, where I had operated so much in the gifts of the Spirit that had to do with prophecy and knowledge and wisdom. And I prayed for people who were sick that got well, and I even laid hands on people who were sick who got well. But I was always with other people that, for some reason, God was using me to heal people now. I was very upset about this. I was like, wow. There was this movie called Resurrection with Ellen Burstyn, and she was in a car accident, and then she dies in the car accident and is brought back to life, and then she becomes a healer, and she's like a sideshow freak, and people are lining up to get healed, and it makes her crazy, and it destroys her life, and I was like, I don't want to become one of those people. And then I thought of my examples of Christian healers on TV and how they were whacked. They were just attention getters, and they had lines and lines and lines of people getting slain in the Spirit, getting healed of God knows what, literally. And I was like, I never wanted to become one of those people. So I remember that Jesus said to people when He healed them, "Don't tell anybody that I did this." And I went, what a wonderful example Jesus left for me. I don't have to tell anybody about this. So I didn't, but I continued to do massage, and I gently let the word out that I was willing to massage people that were sick, even people with AIDS that of course no one would touch. And I remember a year or so later hearing Jack Hayford from Foursquare saying that with all the healing God has done, there is no documented case of God healing a person with AIDS. And I felt so bad because I'd seen it happen, and I felt so relieved in the Spirit that I I felt so relieved in the spirit that I